Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you Friday, July the 29th. The year's 2022. Let's talk trading. It's time for the weekly wrap-up and the monthly wrap-up. As always, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. So, we take a look at the month. We can see that we are 86 pips below the monthly open, 328 off the low, now 331, and 155 off the high. For the week, all gaps have filled. You can see we broke out of last week's high. We are 154 pips off of the weekly high, 132 off the low, 98 pips above the open. And if we look back into today, you can see we dropped back into the opening range for the week. We actually broke through the opening range for the month high. And you can see here, we are just about at the high of the opening range for the week from Monday's candle. So we just had some news come out today that spiked it and then pushed it back. Actually, it spiked it from down here, pushed it up. This spike happened earlier in the day. We are 1,439 pips below the yearly open. You can see we're 80 pips below the daily open right now. For the day, you can see we got into the inside bar, the weekly inside bar from 5 weeks ago, and now we've dropped back through it at that 2160 level. So this shows you how significant some of these ranges are. In this case, the inside bar range from 5 weeks ago. You can see the price action that happened here. So you see we had a cross below, cross above, cross below, cross back above, and then another cross below. Because of the news, more pairs are over 100 pips than under, with the pound clocking in at 183 at the moment. Buy zone traders were rewarded to the north and to the south. To the south most recently from a few hours ago. Rats, the green rats, are feasting right now. And somebody asked a question out there in YouTube land about they didn't understand the Yale student reference. I posted a link that explains it all, but briefly, there was a study, and what they did was they put rats in a maze, and the rats always turn to the left, if I remember correctly, because what the experimenters did, they randomly put the cheese either to the left or to the right in this maze. Well, after a while, the rats just kept turning left, and they actually got cheese about 60% of the time. Whereas the Yale students, they were trying to use their, big brains to figure out where the cheese was going to be. So they came up with all kind of algorithms and formulas, and they were successful about 52% of the time. So the bottom line is that the rat beat the Yale students. So the whole idea behind the rat zone is first you pick a color. You're either a red rat or a green rat. And then every day when you trade, you wait for price to get into your zone, or either the red rat zone or the green rat zone, and then you trade out of the zone. And the zones come from the wick sizes of the daily candle. Now, the original rat, when I ran the frequency distribution, it was about 20 pips. Price usually moved 20 pips or more from the daily high back towards the open and from the daily low back towards the open. But then, it was a couple years ago. Let's see, when did I write that indicator? 2020. I did what I call the smart rat zone, where what it does is it looks at the, I forget how many days in the past. Like it's an input, and then it decides where the 20% tile is. So you can see here, the smart rats zone is just a little bit smaller than the standard rat zone. In fact, I think we even changed the rat zones to 15 pips right now. And you can see here the green rat zone is about 5 pips smaller than the standard rat zone. So the rat did get a little bit smarter, but it's still the same idea. So Bambino Flex said to go long. Price near pivot long. You can see here, first time was it made some pips, but then after that it took down. So here, but the Bambino Flex indicator says chances are it'll break the yesterday's high, which it did, going towards R1. So that would have been profitable. So on the daily, we took out the pivot. We still have one missed pivot from this month back here at 1849. I'm sorry, 1847. So that was the one missed pivot this month. You can see we've got a bunch here that haven't been taken out. The wick zone, in and out of the wick zone to the upside and the downside. A lot of price action happening. Weekly range. Okay, I think did I predict this? I can't remember, but I saw that we were decreasing 1, 2, 3 weeks in a row, so I was thinking maybe this week we might have a pop out back towards, I think towards about 300. But you can see the ATR now is 282, and we're above the ATR, the average trading range. We had 101 break out of the high. We did not break out of the low. High to close for rats, 161. Close the low for rats, 125. And for buy zone traders off the weekly, open 253 high minus open and 33 open minus low. So those all paid off. And since this is the monthly, we'll look at the monthlies. So ATR 476, we've hit 486, which is right at the 50 percentile. We didn't break out of the high. We did break out of the low, previous month's low, by 174 pips. So high minus close for rats, 162, 161 now, close minus low. We've got 324. Buy zone traders, high minus open 70, open minus low 416. So all of those paid off. Remember, you just can't be too greedy. And looking at wall trading, you can see this hour paid off both directions. 3 ball to 3 ball here. Lowest high, highest low. Let's flip this back to the M1 chart. You can see here we dipped down below, came back up, 18 pips to the good. You can see this highest low, taking a trade to the south, would have paid off about 5 pips once. And then we had another one here. And we had another one here. We just touched it and moved back off of it. So for the traders who are just going for, a few pips, I definitely can use the highest low, lowest high. And then it's kind of interesting on the, you can see how this also works for, like, if you're a swing trader. You can see here we had a lowest high 10 days ago at 1873, called 74, and just taking that trade on the daily, you got in, and you can see your stop loss was never threatened. You can either look at the weekly. You can see here it crossed above once, crossed above here. Now, on the stop losses on the weekly, of course, you're not going to want to have a 300 pip stop, I don't think, unless you're a big bank or something. But you can see here, just trading these lines, this the lowest high, using as a crossover to the north, that pays off. And I mean, you can even do it on the monthly if you wanted to. But so for the longer term traders, you can definitely check this method out. So monthly statistics range by month. You can see July's coming in at about 486, unless that changes before the end of the day. You can see that's below June, below May, below April. And we take a look at the year-to-date accumulated range. You can see 1989. So we're above. So let's see, it looks like 2016, actually 2009 looks like we had the biggest range. So you can see we're pretty much above what's going on since 2016. Taking a look at close minus open, we're 85 pips below, and you can see we've only had one green month. Earlier in the day, this was green. We were above the monthly open, but it's pulled back since then. And once again, just showing the ATRs. It's 476. And so at 486, we're 10 pips above that ATR. As far as the trade reminder here, I think that's what we've got up. Yeah, trade reminder. You can see we're inside that lower wick zone still. We're way below the indicator 2 EMA 5. Lower high, lower low for the month. And prices cross below that monthly open. So, fellow traders, I hope you had a profitable week and a profitable month. And I hope you have a fun and safe weekend. And if you have any more questions, please feel to ask. But I have an ask for you. When you watch my videos, would you please at least hit the like button? Because maybe if I can get, somewhere in the 90 to 100% like range, the people watching the videos, they might move me up and then more people will see the videos. And when you come back to your trading platform next week, always remember, never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.